Jai Hind, dear children. Now we are back into our English classes after the vacation. Hope all of you have enjoyed, right? Yeah, that's good. Okay, now today we are going to read an interesting chapter. Of a very light mood, but you need to understand that also. Okay, before I begin, let me tell you a little about the chapter. That is, this chapter has been taken from your supplementary reader in English. This is chapter number 4. The name of the chapter is In the Kingdom of Fools, and it has been penned by A.K. Ramanujan. Okay. Now, A.K. Ramanujan, his full name is Attipati Krishnaswamy Ramanujan. He was popularly known as A.K. Ramanujan, and he was an Indian poet and scholar of Indian literature who wrote in both English and Kannada. He was born on 16th March 1929 and he died on 13th July 1993. He was a poet, a scholar, a professor, a philologist, a folklorist, translator, and playwright. My goodness. He was awarded with Padma Shri, MacArthur Fellowship, Sahitya Academy Award for English Writers. His credit lies in his remarkable ability to maintain a considerable balance between tradition and modernity. All right. Now, let me tell you about this chapter, In the Kingdom of Fools. When y'all were kids, you must have heard this Hindi story based on Andher Nagari, Chaupat Raja, Takeser Bhaji, Takeser Khaja. It's from there. Let me tell you. In the Kingdom of Fools. Fools means they don't have any sense. Not all, but the king and the minister, they were actually fools. Now, in the Kingdom of Fools, this story by A.K. Ramanujan, as I have told, highlights the fact that a kingdom of fools, in a kingdom of fools, people's lives can be in danger. Okay. People's life can be in danger. Why? It's very dangerous if somebody tries to befool you. No, I won't say befool, but if a foolish person becomes the head, it's very difficult for the subjects, the king's subjects, to carry on with their regular life. Yes. And the king was brainless, so was his minister. And they did not do things in a normal manner, Means it is a place where everything is in reverse and justice is not given. Then it so happens that a guru and his disciple arrives in that kingdom. All right. And then something happens. What happens? Let's go through the chapter now. Okay. See, it's given right in the beginning. You will find this chapter in page number 19. All right. It's given, it is believed that fools are so dangerous that only very wise people can manage them. Now, who are the fools in the story? I told you, the king and the minister, that you will come to know gradually as I proceed. Now, what happens to them? I'll come to that point also. In the kingdom of fools, both the king and the minister were idiots. Sounds awkward, right? Fools, fools. Let us go with fools. They didn't want to run things like other kings. Just imagine. So, they decided to change night into day and day into night. Is it possible, you think? But they did. How? See. They ordered that everyone should be awake at night, till their fields and run their businesses till their fields. You know what is till their fields? It's plowing or making, you can say, making the land ready for sowing seeds. Okay, for plantation and all. So that is called tilling. Till their fields and run their businesses only after dark, and go to bed as soon as the sun came up. Oh gosh. Anyone who disobeyed would be punished with death. That is why it is said it's very, very dangerous when the foolish people rule. Okay. Now, the people did as they were told for fear of death. See, who wants to die? So it's better whatever the king is saying. Come on, let's do as the king says. So they did. The king and the minister were delighted at the success of their project. Just see what we have said. The people are listening to us. Oh. So they were very happy. One day, a guru and his disciple arrived in the city. It was a beautiful city. It was broad daylight, but there was no one about. Means broad daylight. Generally what happens? People are so very busy during the daytime. It's working time. But the guru and the disciple, guru's disciple, they found no one on the street. It was totally barren, vacant. No one was to be seen. Everyone was asleep. Not a mouse stirring. Even the cattle had been taught to sleep by day. Just see. The two strangers were amazed by what they saw around them and wandered around town till evening. All right. When suddenly the whole town woke up and went about its nightly business. That means what they should have done during the daytime the same work they are doing during the night time, because that's their time of work. Daytime, the whole daytime they slept, and night time now they have woken up, and then now they are going to work. Strange indeed. The two men were hungry. All right, they had come from far away distant land, so they were tired, they were hungry. Now that the shops were open, they went to buy some groceries. To their astonishment, they found that everything cost the same. A single rupee, you know. Whether they bought a measure of rice or a bunch of bananas, it cost just a duddu. That is a unit of money. Or you can say, you can consider it as 1 rupee. Okay. The guru and his disciple were delighted. They were very happy. Everything is so cheap. We can buy as much as we want. They had never heard of anything like this. They could buy all the food they wanted for a rupee. When they had cooked and eaten, their stomach full, the guru realized that this was a kingdom of fools, and it wouldn't be a good idea for them to stay there. This is no place for us. Let's go, he said to his disciple. But the disciple didn't want to leave the place. Why? Everything was so cheap. As much he wanted, he could buy, and he would eat all these things. So he was not ready to leave that place. Everything was cheap here. All he wanted was good, cheap food. The guru said, "They are all fools. This won't last very long, and you can't tell what they'll do to you next. You might be in trouble. It's better that we move away from here." Okay? But the disciple wouldn't listen to the guru's wisdom. Guru was intelligent. He knew everything. But disciple was reluctant to leave that place. He wanted to stay. "No, Guruji, I'll leave here. I'll stay here." The guru finally gave up. "Okay, fine," he said. "Do what you want. I am going." And left. The disciple stayed on, ate his fill every day. Ate his fill means whatever he wanted, he ate, because everything was getting cheap. So as much he wanted, he ate and ate and ate, and he was very happy. Bananas and ghee and rice and wheat. He ate and ate so much that he grew fat like a street side sacred bull. Why is it said so? Street side sacred bull? Have you ever seen? You must have seen. While going through the roads, you find bulls so heavily built. So that is why it is said like this: street side sacred bull. One bright day, a thief broke into a rich merchant's house. Broke into? He broke the house. No, he entered. All right. He had made a hole in the wall and sneaked in. And as he was carrying out his loot means whatever he had taken, okay, he had made a bundle and he was trying to come out of that hole and run away. The wall of the old house collapsed on his head and killed him on the spot. His brother ran to the king and complained, "Your Highness, when my brother was pursuing his ancient trade," imagine, his ancient trade. What was his trade? Again, this is the thief he was talking about, who had sneaked into the merchant's house. So he was talking about his brother, who was the thief. A wall fell on him and killed him. This merchant is to blame. He should have built a good and strong wall. Just imagine. So that his brother could have gone inside nicely and took all the things and come out easily and nothing could have happened to him. So the brother says, this merchant, that was merchant's house, this merchant is to blame. Why didn't he build his house properly, that the wall collapsed and killed my brother? You must punish the wrongdoer and compensate the family for this injustice. The king said, "Justice will be done. Don't worry." And at once summoned the owner of the house. Summon means called. Summon is it's when somebody is called by giving a legal notice, called legally, that is known as summoned. Okay. When the merchant arrived, the king questioned him. "What is your name?" "Such and such, your highness." Such and such is no name, means he took his name. Okay. "Were you at home when the dead man burgled your house?" Dead man burgle. How can a dead man burgle the house? See, the king is talking like this. How intelligent. "Yes, my lord. He broke in and the wall was weak. It fell on him." The accused pleads guilty. "Your wall killed this man's brother. You have murdered a man. We have to punish you." "Lord," said the helpless merchant, "I didn't put up the wall. It's really the fault of the man who built the wall. He didn't build it right. You should punish him." Just imagine, from one shoulder to the other, to the next man, it went off. Right? Now see how it goes on. "Who is that?" "My lord, this wall was built in my father's time." "I know the man. He is an old man now. He lives nearby." The king sent out messengers to bring the bricklayer. Bricklayer means the mason, you can say, who built that wall, who had built the wall. They brought him tied hand and foot Means both his legs, his hands were tied and he was brought. You there! Did you build this man's wall in his father's time? Yes, my lord, I did. What kind of a wall is this that you built? It has fallen on a poor man and killed him. You have murdered him. We have to punish you by death. Just imagine, this is the king's justice. Oh my God. Now, before the king could order the execution, execution means give the orders, hang till death, sort of. The poor bricklayer pleaded, please listen to me, please, before you give your orders. It's true, I built this wall and it was no good. But that was because my mind was not on it. Now see, anything can be ruined, any work can be ruined if you don't put your mind into it. Means you don't concentrate when you work. The bricklayer wanted to say this. Why? Why did it happen? I remember very well a dancing girl who was going up and down that street all day with her anklets jingling. You know what are anklets? Payal. Okay. There was a dancing girl. Dancing girl means she was a dancer and she was going up and down the road and she had worn anklets and that was jingling. Okay. Now, and I couldn't keep my eyes or my mind on the wall I was building, because as she was going up and down, he looked back. Again she would come, he would look back. Means his mind was not totally on what he was doing. You must get that dancing girl. I know where she lives. Oh my God. From the thief to the merchant, and then from the merchant to the bricklayer, now from the bricklayer to the dancing girl. Don't know how many more are going to come.